This question is from GATE 2018 EC. So we are given a positive edge triggered D flip-flop is used for sampling input data D in. So this is the input data D in, and this D flip-flop is used for sampling this input data D in using clock CK. The XOR gate outputs 3.3 volt for logic high and 0 volts for logic low. So XOR gate output switches between 3.3 and 0 volt. The data bit and clock periods are equal and value of delta t upon tck is 0.15. So tck is the time period of clock and delta t is the time period which this D input takes to transit from 0 to 1 or from 1 to 0. So delta t is same for transit from 1 to 0 or from 0 to 1. Now the question says that if the probability of D in transition in each clock period is 0.3. So this D in may have a transition from 1 to 0 or it may not have a transition from 0 to 1. It's the probability of transition is 0.3. So we have to find the average value at X, and we have to assume that flip-flop and XOR gate are ideal. So there is no time delay for getting the output from either flip-flop or XOR gate. So let's first draw the waveforms. So this is the waveform of the clock pulse. Its total time duration is tck from here to here. This is the waveform for D input. Now I have assumed that the D input has a transition on every clock pulse. So on this clock pulse also this D input transits from 0 to 1. On this clock pulse also D input transits from 1 to 0, and on this clock pulse also D input transits from 0 to 1. So the D input transition is happening on all the clock pulses. Now the output of D flip flop will be this Q. So on this clock pulse, this clock edge, the D input is 0, so output is 0. On this clock edge, D input is 1, so output is 1. So the frequency of the time period of this Q is also tck. Now let's take the output at output of XOR gate X. So we have to XOR this D in and this Q. So this is 0 and 0, so this is 0. This is 1 and 0, this is 1. This is 1 and 1, this is 0. This is 0 and 1, this is 1. So if this is delta t, the transition time, and this is tck, so the output of XOR gate has a time period of tck minus delta t. So its average value will be equal to the time for which it is 3.3 volt upon divided by the total time. So tck minus delta t into 3.3 upon tck. So this is average value if transition occurs at all times of D input, but we are given that the probability of transition is only 0.3. So we have to take that probability also. So the average value will be this value multiplied by 0.3. So the answer will be 0.8415. Thank you.